Dave, you back there?
Hey Linda, how's it going?
Okay, just packing up, getting ready to leave. Wanted to return your patio chairs before I go. I didn't want them just sitting around loose out back while I'm gone.
You're evacuating?
Yeah, aren't you?
No, what for? The last forecast has the storm going to Tampa.
Who told you that?
That's what the media are saying. Tampa, Tampa, Tampa.
That's just because it's a major city. We don't get any special pass just because we're not in a major city. Practically the entire west coast of Florida is under a hurricane warning, and they've ordered us all to evacuate. They're predicting landfall of the center somewhere along our coast as early as tomorrow. There's no way to know exactly where.
I'm telling you, it's going to Tampa. I saw that cone thing on the news, and it had a line going straight through Tampa.
You mean that skinny black line through the middle of the cone? That isn't supposed to be taken literally. The two cities in question, Tampa and Punta Gorda, Florida, are only 80 miles apart, but the uncertainty range for 24-hour position forecasts in 2004 was 93 miles in any direction from the forecast position of the center of the storm. Punta Gorda was therefore well within the likely possibilities for a direct landfall of the center. Additionally, Charley's hurricane force winds were forecast to extend out another 40 miles from center. Punta Gorda, clearly in danger here, was included within the Hurricane Charley warning area, and the population was expected to evacuate. However, many people in the Punta Gorda area were looking only at the skinny black line through the middle of the cone, saw it running through Tampa, and failed to heed official evacuation orders. A controversy ensued, and the trend ever since then has been the phasing out of the skinny black line altogether, leaving only the forecast position points and the uncertainty ranges that form the cone.
Well, I'm not leaving. You see anyone else here leaving? Look at our other neighbors. Look at the Johnsons down the block. They've been here 30 years and they don't look too worried about it. Besides, it's a weak storm.
It's a Category 2 hurricane. There's no such thing as a weak hurricane. When they say a storm is weak, it doesn't mean weak in the normal sense. It just means that it's classified as a lower category storm based on the speed of its fastest winds. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't be afraid of it or that it can't cause major damage. It all depends on the circumstances, because every storm is different.
Well, it's certainly not a strong storm, so what does that tell you?
Besides, it could still intensify some more. That's been the trend over the last couple of days, and in fact, it's forecast to continue to intensify.
How much more could it possibly intensify over the next 24 hours? It doesn't have time.
That's not even true. It could go through a rapid intensification. We could go to bed tonight and the storm's a Category 2, and we could wake up tomorrow morning and find it's a Category 4 and too late to evacuate. And if that wasn't bad enough, there's no forecast for rapid intensification. There is no forecast for the rapid intensification of hurricanes. Storm intensity, or the fastest winds in the hurricane, sometimes expressed as Saffir-Simpson wind scale category, is easier to forecast when a storm is gaining wind intensity gradually over time. However, modern science, despite all its advances, doesn't have the knowledge or capability to predict the sudden or rapid intensification of a storm. Defined as a 30-mile-per-hour or greater increase in the storm's top wind speeds within 24 hours. Rapid intensification is a relatively common occurrence with hurricanes. It can happen with any storm at any place at any time, regardless of its proximity to a populated coastline, including during the overnight hours.
You mean it could change from a Category 2 into a Category 4 by this time tomorrow and no one would ever see it coming?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. The 24-hour forecast issued on August 12th had predicted an increase in Charley's fastest winds from 105 miles an hour to about 120 miles an hour, which would represent an increase from a Category 2 to a Category 3 windstorm. As it happened, Charley did undergo a rapid intensification, increasing its fastest winds from 105 miles an hour to 145 miles an hour, from a Category 2 to a Category 4 windstorm, an increase of 40 miles per hour in wind speed in just 21 hours, just before making landfall centered at Punta Gorda, Florida.
Well, I didn't know all that. I thought those were all just a bunch of technicalities. I guess I should just forget listening to people who don't know any more about the science of hurricanes than I do and start listening to the experts who spend their days doing all that stuff.
Smart man.
You have room in your car for us?
I always have room for a good neighbor.
Taylor, Brian, come on, we're leaving. Okay then, let's go. Let's get out of here.